Voice of Korea.
This is
Voice of Korea.
Now we begin the English language transmission from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
We now present Mr. Carter's Song of General Kim Il-sung. Neil Carter's Song of General Kim Il-sung.
Korea News Now. Respected Kim Jong-un received a gift from the Maritime Territorial Committee of the Communist Party of the Russian Federation. The gift was handed over to an official concerned on the 3rd by First Secretary Grishukov, the head of the party delegation, on a visit to the DPRK.
The Mexican tweeted, "Let us hasten the final victory through a revolutionary ideological offensive." The newspaper printed a photo of Kim Jong-un making a speech at the 8th Conference of Ideological Workers of the Workers' Party of Korea.
The Ecuadorian Committee for celebrating the 102nd birth anniversary of the great President Kim Il-sung was formed in Quito on March 28th. The committee decided to organize various political and cultural events in praise of the immortal achievements of President Kim Il-sung on the occasion of his birth anniversary, the Day of the Sun.
DPRK book Photo and Fine Art exhibitions took place in Brazil, Malaysia, and Italy between March the 5th and the 27th on the occasion of the Day of the Sun. Of the great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il and respectively Kim Jong-un. Also on display were their famous works, books and photographs on the achievements made by the Korean army and people in the building of a thriving socialist nation, and fine art works showing the wisdom and talents of the Korean people. Present at the opening ceremonies of the exhibitions were many people, including personages of political parties and organizations in those countries.
Aung Tae-lin, member of the Central Executive Committee of the Solidarity and Development Party of the Union of Myanmar, gave a statement to media on March 29th on the occasion of the Day of the Sun. The statement praised His Excellency Great President Kim Il-sung as an ever-victorious, iron-willed, brilliant commander and outstanding leader who defeated the U.S. and Japanese imperialists, built a powerful socialist career, and rendered immortal services to the happiness and prosperity of the Korean people and to the sacred cause of the global independence. He saw the Korean people, under the leadership of His Excellency respected Kim Jong-un, would surely carry out the instructions of His Excellency President Kim Il-sung and His Excellency Kim Jong-il. The statement expressed full support and solidarity to the Workers' Party of Korea and the Korean people in their struggle for the building of a thriving nation and reunification of the country.
The Workers' Party of Korea Publishing House brought out Volume 3 of a collection of anecdotes on Kim Il-sung, a cycle of revolutionary anecdotes. The book has 4 chapters dealing with the revolutionary anecdotes on the great leader Kim Il-sung during the anti-Japanese armed struggle between April 21 or 1932 and March 25 or 1936.
Foreigners, including the delegation of the Maritime Territorial Committee of the Communist Party of the Russian Federation, headed by First Secretary Grishukov, visited the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun and paid tribute to the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, who are laid in state there on the 3rd.
Kim Il-nam, president of the Presidium of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK, sent a message of greetings to Andrei Kiska on March the 31st upon his election as President of the Republic of Slovakia, expressing the belief that the relations between the two countries would expand and develop in the common interest and desire of the peoples of the two countries. The message wished the President success in his future work for the development and prosperity of the country and the promotion of the people's welfare.
The National Martial Arts Championship for Manyeongdae Prize opened at the Taekwondo Hall in Pyongyang on the 3rd. The championship is participated in by players selected from Taekwondo teams and other units across the country. Taekwondo, Go, Wushu, and Karate Do games will be held at the championship. Present at the opening ceremony were Chet Tae-bok, Secretary of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, officials concerned, players, coaches, and youth and students. After the championship was declared open, the flag of the championship was hoisted. The opening ceremony was followed by marching file of players and demonstration of the players and coaches of the Taekwondo national selection.
Officials and members of the Democratic Women's Union of Korea held a symposium on noble virtues of the great leader Kim Jong-il at the Women's Hall in Pyongyang on Thursday on the occasion of the 21st anniversary of his election as chairman of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK. speakers at the symposium highly praised the immortal exploits of the great Kim Jong-il, who created the original Sungun political mode unprecedented in the human history of politics, and thus provided the lifeline of socialism, the almighty treasured sword of the Korean Revolution.
Agricultural workers and members of the Union of Agricultural Workers of Korea held a Korean song gathering at the Wonhwa Cooperative Farm in Pyeongwon County, South Seongwon Province on Thursday on the occasion of the 21st anniversary of the election of the great leader Kim Jong-il as chairman of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK. Present there were officials of the union, officials concerned, and agricultural workers and unionists in the county. The gathering began with a poem of praise and chorus strength of Korea. The performers emphatically sang of the brilliant life of Kim Jong-il, great revolutionary and fearless patriot, who performed undying feats for the times and revolution with his outstanding ideas and tremendous revolutionary practice for a long time, since he set out on the road of Sungun Revolution in his early years, through the lofty intention of the fatherly leader, President Kim Il-sung.
The Northern Band established performance tour of Ryanggang province after finishing its performance in the capital city Pyongyang amid great applause of the citizens. It left Pyongyang by air and arrived in Sanjiyun on the 4th. It was greeted at the airport by Lee Sang-won, Chief Secretary of the Ryanggang Provincial Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, and officials concerned.
The spokesman for the General Association of Koreans in the United States released a commentary on March the 31st, slandering the three-portation advanced by Park Geun-hye during a visit to Germany as a senseless remark against reunification aimed at collapse of the North.
The South Korean internet newspaper Voice of People on April the 1st posted an editorial denouncing the suppression of trade unions by the Park Geun-hye regime, ridiculed by the international community.
The Emergency Council students in presidential election in South Korea began hunger strike, calling for a 100,000-strong candlelight action in protest against the present regime's injustice, according to the South Korean newspaper Labor and the World. At the press conference declaring the hunger strike held at the Cheonggae Plaza in Seoul on March the 31st, the speakers stressed the need to turn out in the action to denounce the Park Geun-hye group for its fraudulent election and punish the prime movers. They called for staging the 100,000-strong candlelight action on the 54th anniversary of the April the 19th uprising, in which the people fought at the risk of their lives in protest against the election rigging by Syngman Lee. A press statement was read out calling for launching a hunger strike at the Cheonggae Plaza until April the 19th, and at the same time conducting signature-seeking campaign, information activities, press conference, candlelight rally, and other actions.
The chairman of the Guinea-Korea Friendship Association and the chairman of the Society for the Study of the Future Literary Idea of Guinea supports the statement of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK in their press statements dated March 24th and 26th respectively. They said the statement of the National Defense Korean Army and people to resolutely foil the U.S. hostile policy towards the DPRK. They noted that they would actively support the struggle of the Korean people to the Switzerland-Korea Committee and the Swiss Group for the Study of the Future Idea issued a joint statement on March 27th in support of the Memorandum of Instruction Group of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK issued concerning the frantic movements of confrontation with the DPRK kicked up again by the present South Korean authorities now 4 years after the sinking of the Cheonan warship. Chang-sim, Kim Hyun-ok, and Chae Jong-nam. This is Voice of Korea.
The Daily Minju Joseon carried a commentary on Friday under the title, High-handedness and arbitrariness by strength are useless. The commentary said, on March the 28th, the United States called for convening an urgent meeting of the UN Security Council, taking issue without just a rocket launching exercise. A secret consultative meeting was held according to the demand of the United States, which not only abused us as so-called violator of resolution and provocateur threatening international peace and security, but also expressed a stand to take appropriate measures in the future. Additionally, if the issue were to be dealt with fairly, the United States would have been questioned first which shipped a lot of war equipment into the Korean peninsula, incited French confrontation with the DPRK, and conducted aggressive war exercises before our eyes. In view of the sequence of developments, too, the United States staged the joint military exercises not because we launched rockets, but the U.S. large-scale multi-targeted nuclear war exercises preceded our rocket launching exercise. It clearly shows that the United States is the very mastermind of the recent developments, and it is directly responsible for the deteriorated situation of the Korean Peninsula. With the increasing ferocious moves of the United States to diplomacy, our self-defense and, when necessary, would go over to the next stage measures, including the new type nuclear test the enemy cannot imagine. All the responsibility for the daily increasing tension of the Korean Peninsula shall go entirely to the United States. There was the commentary under the title, High-handedness and arbitrariness by strength are useless, carried on the daily Minju Joseon on Friday. This is the Voice of Korea. We now present the song 40 Million People Sing of the Leader, created in Tsuche CV6 or 1967. Taking the destiny of the country upon himself, he passed through a long way of a snowstorm. In the bloody anti-Japanese struggle, Korea greeted a new morning. The 40 million people sing of our leader. We bring you the third movement, Our Sun and Star, from the symphony. Cousin Jimmy's song will always be with us. Enjoy your female soul in mixed bangsan, the day of the sun, the spring holiday.
가
Violin Concerto, Family of the General. persuade a female soul in past burning desire.
ensemble, I'm thinking.
to persuade a female trio the party's bosom is their home.
U.S. wiretappings disclosed in successive scandals of the United States. It has been opened to public in succession that nearly 200 million cell phone messages of ordinary citizens have been wiretapped worldwide a day and used for information analysis, and telephones of political and financial circles of Germany, including the Minister of Interior, were wiretapped. And it was exposed some time ago that the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency overheard U.S. congressmen. It was disclosed that the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency has long overheard a U.S. congressman investigating purchases of the U.S. forces committed under the pretext of war on terror. Concerning it, people of many countries, as well as the United States, are unanimously astounded at the poor human rights situation of the United States. Confused by it, the United States made planned advocacies, but in vain. Another wiretapping was disclosed. It was open to the public that the U.S. National Security Agency has the technology to to record all telephone messages in other countries and keep them for 1 month. According to it, the United States began to operate a system of such technology against the country in 2011. Some days later, the American newspaper New York Times reported that the U.S. National Security Agency had tracked the server of the head office of the Huawei Technical Company Limited, the largest-scale telecommunications devices business of China, and monitored the communications of the general manager and others. It is said that operations started in 2007 for the purpose of spying out the relations between the company and the Chinese People's Liberation Army. And it was also intended to intrude into the computers and telecommunication networks of those countries which purchase the goods of the company and make a cyber attack when Obama gives an order. Concerning it, China strongly demands the United States put an immediate end to such dirty wiretappings. On top of it, Snowden, who exposed the U.S. wiretapping, said he would sooner or later disclose another important fact as regards the espionages of the U.S. government. Such cases are disclosed in succession not long after the United States announced to the world that they would not do wiretapping. The United States is panic-stricken as it cannot know what an abnormal fact would be disclosed to surprise the world again. No country in the world is so hotly crying for protection of human rights as the United States. Recently, the United States has made the so-called World Human Rights Report and is busy talking this or that about other human rights. The true colors of such wonderful human rights defender are made clear with each passing day. The world asks the United States when its wiretappings would end. You've been listening to an account under the title, U.S. Wiretappings Disclosed in Succession. This is Voice of Korea. Dear listeners, with this we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Southeast Asia between 5 and 6 hours UTC on 13,650 kHz and 15,105 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz and 13,650 kHz. For Middle East and Northern Africa between 16 and 17 hours UTC on 9,890 kHz and 11,645 kHz, and between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 9,875 kHz and 11,635 kHz. For Southern Africa between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 7,210 kHz and 11,910 kHz. And for Central and South Americas between 4 and 5 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz, 13,760 kHz, and 15,180 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,710 kHz and 15,180 kHz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.